Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for another Division 4 recap here in Season 8 of REL. We're going to talk about Match Day 11, and I'm here with Kyle and Iron Master again.
Good to be back.
Yeah, definitely. I know my match
this week. You may have
week.
some extra insights on this, huh, Iron Master?
I have no insight.
Drag some of Ornan's ideas in here for us.
I mean, I always do. How do you think I learned how to Norse?
That's legitimate.
Is that where you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, gents. Well, let's just dive into this. We've only actually got 4 games to go over this week because these top 3 here are a bunch of buys and a game that hasn't been played.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So,
let's see.
Thessa gets the buy here this week. This awful word answer here levels up. It gets sidestep to go with Mighty Blow, Strip Ball, and Tackle.
Yeah, this is what we call locking it up. That team...
Yep.
I only had to play them once. I'm lucky things broke down. Still.
Yep, Filthy Man is here for the playoffs. He's probably going to make the playoffs, by the way, if you didn't catch that memo.
Yep.
Arabi is playing Shiggy tonight here for Shiggy's basically win to stay alive match against the horrible Murder Shorfs.
Hey, tonight
Vampires can pull it out because I think they can.
I called this one a 1-1 draw. What do you guys think?
Oh, man, I'm rooting for the Vamps so hard. I'm sorry, Arabi, but it's Vamps. I can't not.
So there's 2 things. The score, which I think is 2-0 Vamps, and the Kaz, which I think they kill 3 Thralls. 3 is my bet.
I'm calling.
I think Arabi's going to go for some of those vampires, friend.
I mean, he's got some claw palm. It will happen. Maybe not the strength 6 bombers. It's hard to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also all the pile-on everywhere, just in general. Did you see his pile-on bull centaur?
Oh yeah, he's had that thing for a minute now. He leveled both bulls in one game, and he got Mighty Blow for one and piling on for the other.
Let me tell you, that animation is entertaining to watch, and it's not a do you pile on question, it's how quickly can you mash the pile on button there.
Yeah, it just kind of looks like he jumps.
Is it just like kind of a horse jump in a bar, except that's their face?
Yeah, it rears up and, well, there, that's all she wrote.
That's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful animation. Okay, let's talk about Tim versus this is Test Rail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Test Rail was a no-show for his game here yesterday, so this became an admin win.
Yep.
There was no actual development in this game.
Yep.
Show up and play your games.
I think we're in final season or near to it. My own life has been stressful, so that's why I'm in the question-asking position this week. But I don't mind that. And, you can still try and find an hour or 2 here and there. But if you can't, oh well, that's life sometimes.
It's fine. This was not like a playoff contention game, and it sucks that this is a loss for him, but it puts him in a spot where he gets to keep his 220K or whatever, so maybe he gets to buy some sweet new Chaos Warriors at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm going to take this moment to point out that the free agency exists, and you should use it.
Yeah, if you haven't been saving
it's
already.
Not a Chaos that I already shilled out for or anything.
It's like where Moniker's team came from. It's like half free agency players.
Yeah. So, you actually, Iron Master, you get any options at the end of this season? I'm genuinely curious, not to derail too much.
Oh, I do have an option, and that is for a Blodge Strength 4 leader tackle runner. Thrower. And he's 210K with a niggle, and that's who I'm thinking of buying.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, you just never let him get hit, right? He just plays elf thrower.
Well, yeah, he's also Strength 4. So he hits stuff, and you just don't get hit back. And if they don't have tackle, it's actually going to be a bit of a bait player to throw out.
That's what Rusty does with Pulse Pock, which actually is critical to our next game, Rody Greens versus Secret of My Success.
Let's talk about this.
I caught a bit of this, and Pulse Pock was niggled, now is AV7, I believe.
Yes, he caught minus armor for his niggle here this week.
Yeah, and I mean, Rusty's keeping him because that is a strong piece. It actually has strong arm now. It's everything you could want out of an orc thrower, so you ride it until it dies, and then you replace it with an orc lineman.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a fantastic piece. It's just one day somebody's going to run through your line and punch him, and he's never going to stand back up again. I mean, so the story of this game was Rusty manages to stall Laz in the first half and just pops the ball and makes it basically unattainable. And then the second half, Laz gets out his Kaz dice and gets rid of what was it? It was Pulse Pock and a Troll and the Killer Blitzer and just all the important orc pieces in the first couple of turns of the second half, and then he just and can do whatever he wants to get that ball over to the end zone then.
Yep, I'm seeing 5 KOs, 2 injuries. That's, you can't really do a whole lot when the Nurgle train gets go rolling like that.
Exactly. Nurgle got 55 blocks off of 37 here. It's going to be filthy just because of Nurgle blocks.
Yeah, Rusty has guard, and I know he was gunning for the soft boys. But the problem is those soft boys are still AV8.
They are. And your kind of softish boys died faster, Rusty. I'm sorry, but this poor game. That said, Rusty gets some development here. He gets the honorary Stunty award for his thrower because it's now both minus armor and niggled, and he gets stand firm on a guard block black orc.
Yeah,
but you see, a Stunty would have dodge, he should have,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's way better at throwing the ball than a Stunty then.
True.
He's like an honorary tree or something.
Also, why is Hoop still alive? Why is he getting SPP? Why did you give him the vanity pass? Rusty, come on.
Hoop's got the ball. He had to play Pulse Pock's job in the second half.
Shameful. Well,
it was a thing.
Yeah. Well, that's certainly a game, and you're kind of happy to come out of this with no major losses beyond that. The thrower still does his job.
This was a bad omen for Rusty's playoff berth, but it's not dead yet.
Yeah, the only problem here is that there was no claw involved. That was just straight up Mighty Blow hitting some orcs, and then they just kind of fell apart. They're like, "Oh, it's Nurgle,"
Yep.
Sometimes you hit the orcs and they die, man. That's the Nurgle way.
Yeah, claw is good, but the interesting thing about this division is, despite having the potential for 5 claw palm teams, I'd say I don't know.
No, he does not.
No, he doesn't. Arabi started out with none, now has 2. Laz doesn't have any anymore. Brody Greens doesn't have any. Right, that's Laz. Sorry, I'm a little tired.
Oh, that's fine. But yeah, no, a lot of the big ugly strength 4 mute access boys in this league have died this season. A lot of them.
Yeah,
it's a glorious sight. Let's not lie here.
Yeah, man, they put all of the ugly claw palm assholes in the same div together, and they blended each other.
I'm happy.
It's what everyone that's an agility team wanted and more.
Yeah,
this is spectator sport, the division, man.
It's been fun to spectate, but honestly, I've had a lot of games that turn out like my game this week, which
talk about you.
Let me tell you, this was a fun game. By which I mean I was happy to get the draw. Let me see. I wrote notes down because I've forgotten it. What did I say about this game?
You labeled this stall.deck in the show notes.
Yes, I was not able to really handle versus Nurgle because my armor certainly broke a bit, but I was able to stall against him pretty well. Oh wait, no. I apparently inflicted KOs and injuries. Are these against me or against him? I'm sorry, but
Man, you knock out this beast of Nurgle on turn 3, you badly hurt it or something like that.
Yeah, that helped.
Basically, what you do is grind your way down the field, and you have to do the patented Dwarven breakaway, and it just doesn't work out for you because the Dwarven breakaway gets countered by horns super hard.
Yep, that
honestly
happened.
Looks like he was lucky to get the draw here with 15 armor breaks.
Okay.
Side.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I blocked him 61 times. I'm sorry.
Ground him into the sideline in the second half here. It's just that the scatter worked out pretty well for him after you put it on the ground, and then there was no way for you to ever actually score with it. Because it was deep in your half on the ground in the middle of a bunch of dwarves, but you didn't have a real scoring threat. You couldn't safely get it there anyway.
Oh, that's right. This is the time when. Oh yeah, I remember because I was trying to get the chain push dwarven cube going. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my brain has blotted out a lot of it, but yeah, this is just a case where.
This was a textbook example of how dwarves should position to prevent bash teams from running down a sideline.
Because if I didn't do that, he would have won.
Exactly.
I don't want to give him a win. Salt, you're a good coach. You shouldn't have felt bad going into this. But I'm still going to do everything I can with dwarves, which means you have to go all in, because I didn't get to do this against Laz. I didn't get to go all in because I started breaking a little too early, but here at least I could commit.
Now, this game had happened when we talked about playoffs last time, so this doesn't actually have any effect on Salt's playoff berth. He's still like basically in Rusty's shoes, where it's a long shot. He has to win out. That might even not be good enough.
It's not out of the question, but like Rusty, it's pretty rough. Like our elven people are doing really good.
Yeah, now let's talk about this 2-2 Chaos versus Humans game. That's a strange score, right?
I am sorry I missed that. That sounds fucking great. Tell me what happened.
So Monica brings a chainsaw, and he uses that chainsaw to work over Trox's team in the first half. He injures 3 goats and KOs a Chaos Warrior, and it just like takes over the field, and that lets him score on turn 8. So we go into Moniker's drive 1-0 Moniker, and Moniker proceeds to 3 turns, so it's 2-0 Moniker. And then Trox runs it down in 3 turns himself, so it's like turn 13. And we kick the ball to Moniker, and it's a short kick. Moniker takes the ball and puts it up about the line of scrimmage, and one of these ugly goats works his way in there and punches the ball carrier and puts it on the ground, and Trox leaves with it. Turns this into a tie instead of like a filthy 3-1.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of hurt boys in this game too.
Yeah, it sounds like an exciting one.
This is rather sadly for Trox here, another dead Chaos Warrior.
Well, that's just the story
used to it by
of this.
now, honestly.
Yeah, he's got to be, man. This
Poor
was a
motherfucker.
Mighty Blow, block, minus movement, Chaos Warrior bites the dust.
See, I have a theory here. If you name your players after food, they get eaten, so they're dead.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't name them after food.
Now, that said, he levels an unskilled Chaos Warrior to get Mighty Blow to basically take his place. Moniker levels a lineman, gets kick here for the playoffs. He said he would have taken Dirty Player like any other time, but he wants kick for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sid the Shovel, that motherfucker wrestle strip ball catcher that's got both plus strength and plus agility leveled and got tackle.
Yep. He has now
Right.
reached his final form. Bobby the Bolt's the Lino, right? And Benedix is going the long grind to legend. Sammy, is that the replacement catcher?
That sounds right. I haven't looked at his team real closely lately.
I think Peter is one of the dead blitzers that's got replaced.
Yeah, Peter the Pickaxe died here recently, I believe.
Yeah. Now, the only cursed name I have is Morgan Freeman. On Moniker's team, it's like half the names are cursed. Like, there's a bunch of Larry the Ladders running around out there. Free of being
They
human.
are frequently zombies and routers.
That sounds like an awesome match, and no shade on either coach. Like, that is a cool way to play it. Like,
this was a good game. It certainly looked very lopsided, and then Trox fought through it and came back and tied it. It was a great game.
I can't remember if Trox was the Chaos coach in this division that needed to be more aggressive or not, but either way, being that aggressive as a Chaos coach is, I think, good for you.
They both
He
need
needs
to
to be
not
more
have
aggressive.
the Chaos Warriors die, is the short version.
Oh, I agree. Everybody needs to be more aggressive. It's why I like trying to play for wins. For all that I got to draw, and this is a draw. It's at least it makes the draw versus win tension real exciting.
It really does.
Yeah, this was 2 draws for people that are. I guess one of them is for people that are in playoff contention here, so it's kind of a big deal.
Salt is like
That's also
yeah.
2 years.
I mean,
both of them are.
this draw took him further from it, which is rough. But man, he was pretty solid for it for a long time.
Well, this is the draw that put him in the like tough break spot. You played your game on like Wednesday last week or whatever.
Yeah, we played it immediately just because our schedules were lined up. Like, for all
Right.
things are crazy, like, hey, you find something that lines up, you just jam it.
Exactly. So let's jam our way into this this Orcs versus Necro game here.
I've got my cursor hovering around a statistic. Can you tell me what it is?
Is it that 6% ball possession but a victory?
No, it's the
statistic? 'Cause
19.
That's a pretty good one.
Iron Master got it in one. It's those 19 armor breaks.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one too.
What is happening?
You know how much Mighty Blows on that team with Palm? That's a lot of Mighty Blow and Palm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, that said, this was not like we didn't murder Jimmy's team here. It was just all KOs.
no,
And he got like
2
super
KOs.
fed up with it by the second half too, and just went into murder mode.
Yeah, And
Havoc could have easily tied this game, but on turn 13, there were 2 wolves on the ground, and he decided that it was time to kill some wolves. And he applied boot enough to get both of them off the field, but they were both KOs.
this is the archetypal pillow hands, isn't it?
This was the archetypal pillow hands. Havoc, this is... I'm so sorry that you had to live through this game.
That's why you need dirty player, guys.
True.
You pop them, and then dirty player inflicts the injury, and then it's like, woo!
Exactly.
And they regen, you get sad again.
You got Orc Linos, and Orc Linos are Exhibit 1 for dirty player, because they've got Agi 3, so they can dodge sometimes if they need to. They got AV 9s, so they're fine if you give them block too. They're excellent for it.
Just the MA5 sucks, but that's not a big deal. You roll GFIs for it.
Oh yeah, I've been playing a lot with zombies recently, and let me tell you, I will GFI foul some dudes. That is a powerful move in your arsenal.
It's like a second blitz on your turn, man.
At any rate.
Yeah, man, there was no dev in this game either. They just put SPP on guys that didn't really need it.
Yeah, that's the story of Jimmy's life.
Let's talk about playoff contention here for a second.
All right, I'm putting the big board
With
up.
these changes, no one is eliminated. Laz manages to clinch himself, but with these draws and these losses, nobody else picked up any points, basically.
Can I just say
fight
boo?
for... Yeah, right. The fight for
like-
third place is live still. Moniker really needs to win his last game. He has a bye here. I don't remember if he's next week or the week after, but he still has to play somebody. I don't remember who it is. Let's see. And if he does not win that game, then slot 3 becomes
Moniker's
pretty
against the bye week
available.
next week, and then
Okay, then he plays Scholarly Gentleman. Got to fight some chaos.
Oh man, they can induce the world against him.
Oh, yes. They get their favorite 2 chaos inducements and some babes or something.
you can't get Borak and Grashnak at that TV, so maybe just Grashnak, some babes, a wizard.
Destro really likes Borak.
Yeah, he gets boring every time he can.
I'm not a huge fan of him. He seems okay. I personally like the wizard option. It's whatever. I don't really know chaos all that well.
I actually kind of like Borak on where Testrel's team is right now, because he's just down dev on his front line, and
Yeah, he's really nice. You could actually go
Mighty
Borak,
Blow
right?
block dirty player, right?
Yeah, and Strength 5
Yeah.
for Chaos Warrior.
Yeah, he stands right up in the front and gets right in the way and does all of the rude things before he gets ejected too.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you get the bribe for him. So if you want to try the dirty player skill out, it's actually there. And there's gonna be times where you don't block with
Still
him.
it is.
It's underrated on him. Trust me.
Yeah, no, I've Death Roller fouled plenty. Sometimes your giant pile of meat is just a really good foul.
How do we feel about next week's matchups? Let's just run through those real quick.
Yeah. Well, I get to play Shiggy, and frankly, I'm terrified. I'm mostly just going to be trying to get Dev on my Longbeards, because I have to level up some ones that, they keep fucking dying. Granted, dead Longbeards in this division is a nice problem to have.
Yeah. There's a lot of claw running around, or at least there was. There's not so much anymore.
I think he's probably going to beat me. I've watched him play, and I've only seen him play once, but it's still... I'm not sure I can stop that if it doesn't implode on itself. If it implodes on itself, I'm going to try and get as much SPP as I can out of it and score a 1-0. But there's pretty good odds that I just can't.
It is not enough to kill his thralls. You must also separate the rest from the vampires.
It's true.
Yeah, it's honestly just you take away the chew toys and then you try to hit one vamp at a time. And then
Exactly.
if that works, it works. But Strength 6 one, let's face it, is really hard to hurt.
You should also do your best to make him roll as many bloodlusts every turn to move his men instead of attack your guys.
No, it's a case where I'm going to base up a whole bunch. I'm going to try and put the roller at work against Strength 6 Jerk. And maybe it gets there, maybe it doesn't. I don't get to have a bribe this game, so that's certainly a thing.
Sorry, but I'm rooting for Shiggy. I can't help it.
Yeah, I get it. It's Vamps. He's good enough with him to actually pull out a good record with them. That's great. Good on him. I'm going to try and win, though.
Moniker gets the bye this week. We have Nurgle v Jimmy. You think Necro versus Nurgle's a good matchup for Necro? Because I don't think it is.
Of course it is. He'll be fine.
The only thing Does Salt have tackle? I feel like he has at least 1 or 2 tackle.
He has a palm tackle, I think.
Yeah.
That's not-
I think if Jimmy can properly apply boot to that thing, he might have a chance, but Salt is actually really good at protecting it. Salt is pretty cautious. I think if he protects that thing and applies blitz with it, which let me tell you, he did against me, honestly, Salt, I think you got this.
Also, he has a wrestle tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think that Salt's pretty favored here. Just needs to lean in and get some removals early, and from there, the Necro plan just sort of falls apart.
Speaking
Depends
of
how many
plan,
zombies regen.
Sure,
True.
yeah, but that's zombie life. You just assume that they have half again as many as they have.
speaking of plans, how do you feel about Rusty's Green Elf plan versus Havoc's they hit real good plan?
Yeah, some green elves versus some green dwarves.
I think it's the Green Elves. I think the fact that Rusty has the level of action between Pulsepock and his Secret Elf, I mean, it's no secret you
So,
want to kill Solo
now-
Vexer.
Relevant, Pulsepock is missed next game for this game.
That is true.
I mean, honestly,
I still think that it's Solo Vexer's the plus Agi Blitzer, right? He's the mirror breaker. If Havoc can kill him early, then this becomes like an even bashy matchup that Havoc has better skills for. So we'll see.
I
call
think
this
this
one
is
a
going to
draw.
be the secret of my success. I feel like he has enough BS in him to try to do a 1-0.
oh yeah,
That's what we got.
He's missing one of his BS pieces though.
Rusty.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's not going to be like a 2-score match. It's only going to be a 1-score match.
That might be fair. Rusty probably can stop the drive here.
Yeah.
And then he's probably still safe to score on his with his one Agi piece. So yeah, you're probably right.
That's
Because as we all know, the weenies are on a bloodlust rampage sometimes.
They are pretty mad sometimes.
he's almost as mad as Arabi, but not quite. I would
Not
say. But
Okay, how about Scholarly Gents versus Culinary Delights?
oh man, the Chaos Mirror. It's finally
Chaos
happening.
Mirror. Which one gets broken?
See,
I
here's
would
the
say
thing.
Culinary Delights would be fine here because they're almost the same TV, pretty much. And Trox has just been known to take less risks. I think that's going to win it here.
You guys should just agree to hug each other and score a bunch of touchdowns.
That's honestly what I'm
Teams.
expecting out of this. There's poor Chaos in this division.
This could
This
be
is
a
like the
game
first
where
time
like
anyone says that.
4 Chaos Warriors get blocked, man.
I mean, yeah, I'm probably the first person to say that, but look, the secret about Chaos in really long formats like this is, yeah, theoretically, end state murder Nurgle or murder Chaos is the best thing going, not close. It just doesn't get there, though. Like, you take that tree and you prune it some more, and then you take off another branch just to be sure.
Hope anyway.
Yeah, you
I don't
know.
know. I think that this is probably a 2-1 in one of the other's favor. It depends on how some rolls go in the middle of a drive.
I mean, I'm not going to
Okay.
cry if they explode.
Is this where we just tell them go for the 3-3, guys?
I think that
Yeah.
you should go for the 3-3 here. Like, legitimately, this is a fantastic game for that to occur.
I mean, don't collude, obviously, but the point comes down to the fact that you should try some elf stuff. And
Exactly. This is a development game for you guys.
use those loner goats as they're intended, as blood bags.
Yeah, this is like the first round of the Devastational right here.
It'll be a fun thing to watch.
Yep. Alright, so we talked about my game, because I
Yeah.
enjoy talking about myself. Let's talk about some elves versus some
Some filthy Nurgles.
man.
I want to say this is the Elves game right here.
Yes.
Like,
Oh,
the
man.
Nurgle are really scary, but they don't
Did you
have...
guys forget that Disturbing Presence has text?
No, I just think Thessa positions well enough that it doesn't matter.
I mean,
No.
Plus, I
doesn't
mean-
position bad.
No, like, Laz is good. Don't get me wrong, Laz is real good. But, like, Thessa's going to play far back enough that I think this is just going to be I think you can get it so that you either pass over the threats or hand off chain around them. And
I mean, so now Laz also has a pair of 2 heads goers. Like, he can do some elf stuff back to these elves.
oh, I absolutely think this is 2-1. Like, I don't think that Thessa can entirely prevent Laz's score. I think Thessa's just going to try and shoot out race it.
I think it
Yeah,
depends on who gets defense, honestly. Because just if Thessa gets it, defenses, you let the Nurgle get by. You try to get your one turn. If your one turn works, you're in the gold, and you can just try to get a score and stop them. But if Laz gets it, it's the other way around of, oh, now the elves can't, try the one turn until turn 16 where there's no elves left.
Exactly. And now I don't necessarily think that 2-1 game that you're describing where Thessa's on defense first doesn't end up as a 2-2. Like, as Nurgle teams go, this is a pretty elfy one. He doesn't have all of his SPP there on his Chaos or his Nurgle Warriors or whatever, like most Nurgle teams do. He's just got it literally all on the Gores.
Oh, yes, it's all Gore's inconvenient truth.
Yeah, so, like, the bulk of his TV can reposition like elves can.
Yeah, and the other interesting part is those are confusingly bashy elves. Like, we're gonna
like 3 guard elves or something, right?
3 guard elves, and we're matching block beast with block tree. Like, those things just stare at each other and don't do anything all game.
They're just gonna make out the whole match or something. It's no big deal.
But yeah, he had 4 guard elves. I made sure it was 3 guard elves. You're welcome, world.
I think he had 3 and you trimmed it to 2.
And then he got another one? Ugh. Well, whatever. Thessa's good enough with those guard elves that he really makes use of them. Like, it's just a case where instead of having to dodge away to make his screen work, he just takes favorable hits to make his screen work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's got the guard. He's only got 2 guard now. He's got a Blodge guard lineman and a Wrestle guard lineman. And he's got the 3rd guard on the tree.
Oh, right. And then finally, the thing we've all been waiting for. Round 1 of the end of division fucking Dwarven Mirrors.
Yeah, buddy. Let's see Tim and Arabi rub their dwarves against each other and hope that none of them leave.
I am so glad I played Arabi early before he got claw.
He has 2 claw palm guard bastards now.
So we said that last match was the devastational, but this is the true devastation.
Yeah, now this is where it really is.
2 dwarves enter, some dwarves leave.
Yeah. It will not be all 22, that's for sure.
That said, like, Tim has a gutter dwarf. He wins. It's just, does he actually win at what cost?
Yeah, so this is another basically development game, honestly. Like, I think Tim is a pretty easy lock for actual scoreboard victory, but I don't know that Tim likes the outcome very much.
I mean, I'll be honest. Tim, do what I did. Buy more Longbeards. Go to 14 dudes. Feed him Longbeards.
That's not a bad idea.
You're already bloated enough. Just go further.
Yep.
I mean, Arabi's not exactly trim.
He's only 1760 compared to
only
1760.
1760. But yeah, it's against like a 2K team, right?
Yeah, I mean, Arabi can induce a saw and a bribe for it if he really wants to, or a wizard, or maybe like all of those things. Who knows?
Okay. Yeah, Tim's actually like 1950. He's got a bunch of floated cash right now.
Me too. Except I turned my floated cash into a spare Longbeard because there's no dwarves on the open market. Who cares?
There are absolutely none.
It's for all that this division is bizarrely lopsided. Like, we have 3 dwarves, 5 claw palm, 6. Yeah, you have to count Jimmy, or you could have counted Jimmy when he had wolves. It's like, it's a bit of a love-in sometimes.
Lots of hugging.
Like, we had our wonderful pillow hands from one of the most murderous style coaches I've ever seen.
I cannot imagine how tilted Havoc had to have been at the end of that game, because I certainly would have been.
Yeah, poor guy. It happens to the best of us. Like, believe me, I play dwarves. It's a very similar style. Sometimes it just doesn't get there, and you have to do elf stuff with your movement 4 Agi 2 guys.
Yeah, that's what Rusty had to do this week. Rusty made a pass to a Black Orc this week to try and get the ball to safety.
So it's a way of life sometimes.
He made the pass, but it wasn't enough.
At any rate, I think we're going to wrap it here.
Yeah, that's all we've got for you here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, this was Randomest Namus, Kyle Muir, and Iron Master. We'll see you next week.
Yep.